What's going on, y'all, man? It's official Dre live, bro. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on notifications. We are reacting once again to another one of MYCAREER's YouTube videos. I told you I'm a huge fan of his channel, bro. Really hope I get to meet the guy one day. This video is called The Secret Conspiracy. The NBA wants you to forget about, man. Let's get into the video. Once again, subscribe if you're new. And, you know, more gameplay videos on the way, more streams on the way. All the links to my stuff and my socials down in the description. Also the link to my second channel in the description. If you fuck with that the long way, fuck with me the long way. But I'm not about to hold y'all up any longer, man. Let's get this video on.
On July 14th, 2004, NBA history was changed forever. Because on this day, the Lakers officially sent Shaquille O'Neal to the Miami Heat for a package that included Lamar Odom. This gave us three things. One, the breakup of the Kobe and Shaq era, a breakup that gave us one Miami Heat championship and two Lakers championships. Two, one of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history. What if Kobe and Shaq could have just gotten along? And three, the one nobody talks about, the climax for one of the biggest conspiracies the NBA has ever seen. Because what you probably don't know, because nobody mentions it, is that Shaq should have never been able to be traded to Miami because Lamar Odom should have never been on the Miami Heat. This trade only took place because of a supposed mistake by a player's agent the year before. A mistake that you probably won't believe is possible to make because of how ridiculously dumb it would be if it were a mistake. And if it weren't a mistake, well, then we're talking some kind of bribery. We're talking a team colluding with an agent in order to sign a big name free agent. We're talking about a conspiracy that only gets crazier as the story goes on. So what's up, guys? Mike here, and yes, today we are back at it with another conspiracy, and I promise you, this one is nuts. You are going to want to stick around to the end of this video because the full story here is truly mind-blowing. Before we do get into that though, you guys have loved the conspiracies lately, so if you want to see me do more conspiracy videos, comment down below any conspiracy theory you want me to see, and if it's interesting enough, I will for sure do it. Also, of course, please leave a like on this video. It helps me out a ton, and subscribe so you never miss a video. Trust me, I already have another crazy conspiracy coming soon. You are not going to want to miss it. Subscribe so that you don't. As for now, let's just jump into this. Let's jump into the supposed mistake that famous NBA agent Bill Duffy made in the 2003 offseason. Because after the 2001 season, the Heat viewed point guard Anthony Carter as a promising up-and-coming player and thus signed him to a 3-year deal. The third year of this deal was a player option for $4.1 million for the 2004 season. A player option that Anthony Carter wanted to accept because he simply wasn't worth that money. If we Google Anthony Carter right now and take a look at his stats, we see that as a 27-year-old in the 2003 season, Carter shot just 36% from the field and averaged 4.1 points per game. Numbers that were horrible on a terrible 25-win Heat. This meant, of course, Miami wanted Anthony Carter gone. They only had $7 million in cap room that season. This meant that if Anthony Carter did decline his player option, the Heat would be able to sign a big-name free agent. Unfortunately for the Heat, though, Carter told his agent to accept his player option because that was the most money he was possibly going to get, and it is here where things get incredibly suspicious. Because somehow, despite Anthony Carter accepting his player option in theory, his agent, Bill Duffy, forgot to officially submit the paperwork to the Miami Heat before the deadline, and thus, Anthony Carter's player option was automatically declined. This meant that Anthony Carter was now a free agent. This meant that the Miami Heat owed him nothing, and this was a much bigger deal than you are probably thinking. Because again, let's search the salary cap for the 2004 NBA season, and we see that it is $43.84 million. In comparison, the salary cap for the 2020 season was $109.1 million. That means that the $4.1 million salary that Anthony Carter was making in 2004 is comparable to a salary of $10.2 million for the 2020 season. And because the Heat did not have to pay Anthony Carter this $4.1 million, magically, they had enough money to sign Lamar Odom to a 6-year, $63 million contract. Let's be clear, Miami did not have enough cap space to make this offer before Anthony Carter's player option was declined. If Anthony Carter had accepted his player option, that meant Miami would not have had enough money to sign Lamar Odom, as they would have only had around $7 million in cap space. strange. As I said before though, the story gets even crazier, and so Anthony Carter only ended up making around $750,000 in 2004, and Bill Duffy ended up offering to pay the difference in salaries, which was the right thing to do. What's weird here is that in 2016, Anthony Carter said that Bill Duffy was still paying him over 13 years later. And in fact, well, just listen to this quote. In the end, it was a blessing. I'm still getting paid from it. Everything happens for a reason, and my agent was man enough to stand up and just pay me over a period of time. To this day, I'm still getting paid. I'm still getting paid until 2020. 2020? Wait a second. Why is Anthony Carter calling this a blessing? I mean, sure, he is saying that his agent ended up paying for him, but why would that be a blessing? If anything, it would be an inconvenience, especially when you consider the fact that Anthony Carter never made more than $1.35 million for the rest of his career. Also, red flag number 2 here, why is Anthony Carter receiving money for 17 years? Is he getting paid more money than he should have been? And if that's the case, well then, did something shady go down here? Because honestly, let's take a step back here for a second and think about just how crazy this was. Imagine next season Norman Powell, who has an $11.6 million player option for the Raptors, tells his agent to accept that offer, but his agent messes up and doesn't file the paperwork. Then suddenly, boom, the Raptors have enough money to sign someone like Kawhi Leonard as a free agent, and they sign him. If that were to happen today, social media would explode. Everyone would think that something shady had happened. Everyone would think that Bill Duffy and the Heat were just flat out cheating. Stephen A. Smith's head would literally blow up on live television. The Astros were outed for cheating and have not heard the end of it for over a year. They're not going to hear the end of it for the foreseeable future. If a team did pull something like this off in the current NBA and then went on to win a championship because of it, I don't think we would ever hear the end of it either, which would be understandable. But because we were in the dark ages before
I was about to say, man, like, the world's soft now, bro. The world too sensitive now, so of course we wouldn't hear the end of it. Especially people use social media as a voice now, so yeah, that's crazy.
Social media, this was basically swept under the rug. And like I said, the story keeps getting crazier, and we are at the craziest part, the championship. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, Shaq was traded to the Heat in a package that was centered around Lamar Odom. If Lamar Odom was not involved in that trade, Shaq does not get traded to Miami. There's absolutely no chance that would happen, which means the Heat don't win the 2006 NBA Finals, which would damage Dwayne Wade's legacy, and the Lakers, well, they could potentially face a much tougher road in 2009 and 2010, as Lamar Odom was a key piece of both of those championship teams. With that said, the big question here is, where would Shaq end up? The Lakers made their choice that offseason. They were going to trade Shaq, so he had to go somewhere. So with that in mind, it's been said that Vince Carter attempted to recruit Shaq at one point in his career to Toronto, which of course would have been very interesting, and the Bulls had interest in Shaq too, as did the Denver Nuggets. But the most intriguing team here would be the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas had a pretty good trade package at the time, and remember, Dallas lost the 2006 championship to Shaq in the Miami Heat. If Shaq had switched teams, well, the 2006 NBA Finals could have very well ended up with us watching Dirk and Shaq hug as they held a championship trophy together. And from there, who knows what happens? Who knows where Lamar Odom ends up going? And again, who knows what happens to the Lakers? At the end of the day here, a forgotten acceptance of a player option altered the course of NBA history forever. And did I say forgotten? Well, you guys can make your own decision as to what really happened, and I am very excited to see the comments you guys have. That does mean, though, that this story is over, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. It helps me out a ton, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I have another great conspiracy coming up very soon. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You're awesome. We all know it, and as always, have an awesome day, guys, and cue that music. If you're still here while the music is cued,
Yo, that's a banger ass video, dude. Anyway, man, if y'all like the reaction videos, man, you feel me? I'm gonna keep grinding. You know, I'm working on stuff subtly, man. I'm getting things done, you know. But until next time, you feel me? Stay positive, love yourself. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitch. Subscribe to my second channel. And yeah, that's it, man. There's a video on the screen, so y'all should definitely watch that, you feel me? And till next time, man. Peace.